So you've opened your shop and you've added 10 items, 20, 30, maybe even 100 plus items. It's been a month, 2 months, 3 months, maybe it's even been 6 months. You're sitting back and you're wondering, why am I making no sales? Then in this video, I'm going to be giving you the top main reasons why you are making no sales in your Etsy print on demand business. So let's just get right into it. Reason number one, and as cliche as this sounds, is your mindset. If you can't even believe in yourself, if you can't even believe that you can make money in this business, why bother? You might as well just quit right now because it's just not even gonna happen. I know this, reason might sound basic, but hear me out. It's really not that basic, because are you telling yourself some of these things? Well, the Etsy fees are too saturated. Well, t-shirts are too saturated. Well, all these people started in 2020. People are selling things that are trademark or copyright, or the profit margins are low. It's not going to happen to me. And all these things that you keep telling yourself over and over and over and over and over again, of course, it's just not going to happen because you have convinced yourself that it's not possible. Again, your brain is meant to protect you. It's not really meant to help you. So if you keep feeding your brain all these things, and again, don't get me wrong, it's okay for you to have this, thinking, but the problem is when you sit on it. Yes, you could be like, you know what, maybe this is happening, but you know what, I'm gonna do it anyways. Because again, you cannot just sit on this petty, well, Etsy too saturated, well, Etsy's do this. I mean, is this really true? Because if you go on Etsy, there's plenty of people making money in this business. I mean, I'm here teaching you all about it because it's worked for me. And again, if you really go and listen to all these other print-on-demand sellers that are on YouTube, that we're all out here teaching you all the skills, and you look beyond the skills, because again, this is the major thing that you need to get out of this. You can learn the skill of running this business. I can teach you how to research. I can teach you how to create designs. I can teach you the SEO. I can teach you how to find good mockups. These are all things that you can learn. Obviously, they take time to learn them, but you can learn all these things. But you know what? The one thing I cannot teach you is how to fix your mindset. I cannot tell you, to change the way that you think. That is something that you have to come to terms, and you really have to learn how to do yourself. And guess what? It's one of the things that actually is the hardest for you to change, because again, we want to stay in this comfort zone. We want to stay in this area that just our brain's trying to protect us. But again, if you go and you watch all these other print-on-demand sellers that are making 6 figures and beyond, and you go beyond the skill, meaning you listen past the skill that they're teaching you, and you really hear about how they talk about their minds, you will hear things like, you know what, when I was starting out, I knew that it was going to be hard and I was going to have to put in a lot of work, but I knew that I could do it. You know what? I saw so many YouTube videos on these people who were saying they were making this and that. And you know what? If they were making it and they could do it, so can I. So you see how different that mindset is from this whole well, I'm trying to do this. Well, I've done, I have put all the designs and nothing is working. Well, it's too saturated. Well, there's no money to be made. You're coming from this whole me, and you have no room to grow. You're coming from this whole of mentality, again, that's your brain is protecting you, that it's just not going to happen. Versus questioning everything that your brain is saying. Well, if your brain is saying well, Etsy's too saturated. Well, how come there's sellers that just started 2 or 3 years ago and that are killing it? So is that really real? Or is your brain just protecting you from, going outside of your comfort zone? So again, if you don't fix your mind, I can teach you all the skills and you're still not gonna make any money because you don't even believe in yourself. So if you don't even believe that you can do this, that you can make money in this business, that it can happen to you, then it doesn't matter all the skills that you have because it's still not going to happen. So really work on your mind, really work on what you're feeding yourself. Really work on all these ideas that you have in your brain and really put them out there and question them. Are these ideas or beliefs, are they truly real? Or are they just things that I just made in my head because I'm trying to protect myself? So I know this is going to require a lot more work than just this skills, because again, We're all teaching you how to do the skills, right? But the one thing that I truly want you to focus on so much deeper than like obviously learning the skill is how you're treating your mind and what are you feeding yourself and what are you telling yourself every single day. The second thing that is preventing you from making money in this business is your lack of research. Guys, if you're not new here, you're gonna get sick and tired of me talking about this because the money is in the research. I don't know how many times I have to say this, but I'm gonna be saying this over and over and over again until you get sick and tired of me talking about this and you finally get it or it finally clicks for you. Because I'm telling you, when it clicked for me, it changed everything. So again, research is not just saying, let me go on Etsy for like 5 seconds, look something up, and then go design. That's not what that means. Research is literally training your eyes, training your brain to learn what people want. Again, this is also a skill. It takes time to develop the skill. The same time that it took you to learn your job or to get a college degree, this is no exception. There is a learning curve. You have to come to terms that you are a beginner and that you're not supposed to know how to do this unless you're some form of unicorn, but we're not. So it's gonna take you time. For some people, they learn it much faster than others. For me, it was a very, very slow, learning curve. Like I had to learn a lot. But again, the more time I spend researching, the easier it gets. And again, research happens everywhere because demand inspiration is everywhere. You gotta get out of this whole first I do this, second I do this. This is not like this. Rabbit holes are your best friends. This is not a black and white business. So if you're a very type A person, you're gonna have to break out of that because this is very messy. You can go on Etsy and look at things. You can go on Instagram, Pinterest. You can follow online retailers. You can actually sign up for their email list so they can email you the things that are coming out. When you go into Walmart, Target, pretty much you just gotta keep your eyes open and you look at everything. And when you're like, okay, Bridget, what am I looking at? Literally everything that you see, colors, patterns, fonts, but everything, because all you're doing when you're researching is you're training your eyeballs, you're training your brain to learn what people like. Because this is the thing, the more that you do this, when it comes to designing, you'll know exactly what to do. It's like when you follow other print-on-demand sellers, or if you see me design and you're wondering like, man, how do they do it so fast? It's because when you spend so much time training your eyes and your brain to what people like, when it comes to designing, you can literally do a design super quickly because you know already what people like. And the best part of doing this is that your designs end up being unique because you spend so much time looking everywhere. Then not just like, let me look at this listing for 5 seconds, that you come up to the market with a design that's unique. You come into the market with a design that adds value, that people want, because you base all of your decisions based on everything that you saw that was in demand everywhere, and not just like, well, I looked at this listing for 5 seconds and now let me just go design it. And then your design looks like that listing. Of course, because you spend no time learning, you spend no time, teaching, again, your eyes and your brain to what's in demand. So again, you gotta spend the time doing this research. There's no shortcuts. There's no easy way. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you, oh, you can just do this and then you just figure it out. No, you have to do this. The more you do this, the better it will be. Spend whatever time you can, 10, 15, 20, 30. I mean, when I first started figuring out that this is where the money was, this is what I needed to be doing, I would spend hours doing this, because the more you do this, the more obsessed you become with it, the more you want to learn, the more you want to just figure it out, the more you just want to do this all the time. And again, this part is important because you're doing this to just teach yourself how to be better at this, business. Because at the end of the day, guys, this is a customer-centric business. It's not about what you want to design. It's not about what you like. It's about what people want. And how do you get people more of what they want? By looking at what they like. That's how you get better at it, period. And again, the SEO, you will just be able to figure it out because you already know what people like. And SEO is literally just putting a title of whatever people are searching. So if people are searching for a homeschool mom shirt, will you put things that are all related to a homeschool mom shirt? So it could be homeschool mama t-shirt, homeschool mom shirt. That's what a SEO is. Thumbnail, you'll know what thumbnail mockups to, add, because you looked at so many things that are in demand that you'll know what thumbnail will do really well. So again, all these other things that you're so worried about will literally come so easily because you already have spent all the time researching and training yourself to what people want, that everything else will just kind of fall into place. And guess what? Because you did all those things, now you don't have to worry about like, where's the sales? When am I making money? Literally, sales will come because you have literally created items that people want. Because at the end of the day, it's not about you. It's not about what you want. It's about what customers are looking for. And again, if you're still struggling with the whole research process, then I'm going to be linking this video next, because in that video, I'll literally give you a whole walkthrough to how I do research to train my eyes and train my brain. See you on the next one.